Hello, good morning, and welcome to this late morning taste challenge. We have two Kentucky bourbon whiskeys. I need to go walking soon because I think the weather's going to turn nasty later, and I'm not going to be able to go walking. It's really windy outside. We're on a coastal flood warning right now. The wind is so strong from the southeast that's pushing water uh, at the beach about 6 miles from me. It's probably flooding over there already. Won't it won't reach here. Well, if it reaches here, this town is gone. But anyway, because I'm on the highest elevation in the town. But anyway, here's Old Charter Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, no age statement, introduced in 1874. It's from Buffalo Trace, so I got the link below. There's a number of links. There's the Sazerac.com website, that link below. There's Buffalo Trace Distillery website, and there's greatbourbons.com website, and they all talk about Old Charter. All right. So at one time it was 86 proof. I believe there was a 100 proof version. There might still be a 100 proof version because I think I saw that somewhere, but it might have been an old bottle, but almost certain I saw that in a store. There was a 10-year age version. There was a 8-year age version, and there was a 7-year age version at various times, 10, 8, 7. May have been more, but those are the three I'm aware of. And then this is the non-age stated version. Now it runs about $16 or $17 a bottle, but I got it for $8. Walmart had it on closeout for $8. Not the normal price, like I say, $16, $17. Here's Evan Williams. $15. Here's Evan Williams Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, genuine sour mash, as you see on one side of the bottle, and charcoal filtered on the other side. Now, if you get the regular Evan Williams, the black label, it's aged 4 years. This is aged 3 years. And the regular Evan Williams does not say charcoal filtered. It is sour mash. Now, it gives you a website on the back, but they don't list this on the website. So you can type it in, evanwilliams.com, and they'll show you all different kind of Evan Williams whiskeys, bourbon whiskeys, but not the green label. It's nowhere referred to on their website, but I know it exists. I have it. I got it a little cheaper buying the two half-size bottles. I have another full one unopened in the cabinet. So I could have bought the green glass bottle, and it was $1 more than if I bought two of these to make one whole. So I saved $1 and bought these two. Okay. Going to be a challenge because these are very similar. I don't know if the sour mash is going to make a difference, but it might. Old Charter's tricked me up once already. Really twice if you go with aroma only. But on taste test, I got it wrong once. And they're probably going to trick me up again. Okay, Old Charter turning out better than I thought when I did taste challenges, see. My complaint was that it was a little bland, but when I went up against Cooper's Craft, that got me confounded. Now, as I kept sipping, then I was like, oh, yeah, okay, all right. But it shouldn't have turned out like that, I don't think. Let's do this and get it done. I don't mean rush through it or anything like that, but I want to get it done because I need to. If I'm going to walk that next half mile, it's got to be done now, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do it later. Joe Cobb says, afternoon, Ron, drinking a pint of Guinness and making a burger for lunch. Good choice. I'm hungry already. I'm telling you right now, I'm hungry. All right. Appearance. Well, even. Amber. This Evan Williams. Is that Evan Williams? Yeah. Evan Williams, a little darker, but it's so minimal. It's basically, we'll just say they're the same. They're not actually the same if you can look at them carefully up close, but they're practically the same. Walking is very healthy for you. Yes, and I walk every day. Like on a day off of work, I'll walk a mile and a half. You say, that's nothing, a mile and a half. Yeah, but I do it every day, every day, every day. I know some people that say, I walk 8 miles. And I'm like, well, when do you do that? Oh, once a week, twice a week. So, I mean, it's however you want to do it, but they're immediate to going to jump on that. Well, I've been doing it for over 20 years and I never missed. I mean, I think there was one day it was storming the whole day while I couldn't go walking. Okay, so I made it up. I took account of what I missed and I made it up. Okay. Sometimes I'll walk more than that just because I say, I got some free time to go walk again. Okay. Then I pick up litter as I'm walking because I can't stand litter. I was taught that as a child. Don't be a litter bug. Some people are. They litter their own yard. They got no culture. Okay. Yeah, sweet. If you want to say like candy corn, you get that kind of flavor with some bourbon whiskeys. Would be like candy corn, vanilla. I don't really need all that light from outside, do I? Let's see. It's ambient. It's not direct sunlight, but I got these lights here. I don't want it to be totally dark. All right, but vanilla, little like honeysuckle nectar, you get that kind of taste, aroma. Okay. Oh yeah, the price. No, you know what? I didn't save $1. I saved a penny. But the reason I bought the two plastics was because they were easier to store. That's right. Because I've got so many tall neck bottles, I'm starting to run out of spaces where they'll fit. But the little bottles like this, they'll fit so easy in the cabinet. But it was $9.98 for the two together. $9.98. So $9.98. It's going up to $10.98. But I think a few places you might still find it for $9.98, but very unlikely. So let's say instead of $10, $11. We'll round off. $11 for Evan Williams, $17 for Old Charter. Is it going to be $6 better? No way. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it'll be 60 cents better. Is it aged longer? We know it's aged longer because there's no age statement. And by that being the case, we know it's at least 4 years old. So we know it's at least 4 years old. And we know the Evan Williams is 3. I read it off the bottle. So appearance, tie. Aroma, tie. Now, the clincher is the flavor because everything's even so far except the price. The price, Evan Williams wins easily. Same thing. Candy corn, vanilla, a little bit of charred oak, honeysuckle nectar. These bourbons, they all taste, they're so similar, man. They are so similar, and people will go crazy, hog wild, running here, running there to track stuff down. I guess it's a fun hobby, but and I've tasted expensive ones too that people say, try this. And I'm like, I know that taste. And then I'm reluctant to tell them because they say, well, what do you think? I don't want to tell them what I think. They get upset, I paid $80. So he asked me what I thought. You didn't tell me what I want to hear. You told me what you asked me, what do I think? Now this one maybe has a little bit of the sourdough bagel type of thing, Linder's sourdough bagel. and well, whatever brand you want to talk about. So could that mean it's the Evan Williams? It could be meaning that. I gotta take a second sip on each one of these. A second sip, not a second drink. I never heard people say that before I started watching the internet. I'm serious. Before I started watching YouTube videos, I never heard anybody in my life say, "Now I'm going to take another drink." I've heard people say, "I'm going to order another drink," or "Let's have another drink," but I never heard anybody say, "I'm going to take another drink." All I ever heard people say was, "I'm going to take another sip," or "Let's go with a second sip." But now I watch these YouTube videos, I hear this a lot. People say, "Now I'm going to take another drink." Oh, on the second drink. And I'm like, I don't think that's the proper term. A drink is a noun. It's a, this is a drink. You take a sip of a drink. Well, that's just me. Am I being particular? I'm being particular. I know what they mean when they say I'm going to take another drink. It just sounds strange to me. If bourbon is costing as much as scotch, something is off, or something's obviously off. Bourbon used to be the cheap alternative, right? Not no more. All right. But you can get inexpensive scotch anyway. You always could. So it's really how you look at it. Because 50 years ago, they had really cheap bourbons and they had a really cheap scotch. All right. And that hasn't changed. What has probably changed is that your good quality bourbons, so called, were probably a lot cheaper than your good quality scotch. Now it's like they probably exceeded because you got to have that corn whiskey. My uncle, he'll say bourbon is corn whiskey, which it is. And Scotch drinkers would say, what is this American stuff? Because they're all in a fanaticism over corn liquor, and we drink in barley malt, malted barley. And in their mind, it's much better than just unmalted corn grits, grain spirits. It's how you look at it. I'm interested in Japanese whiskey, but it's all as expensive as single malt here in Canada. I haven't splurged it. Yeah, it's same here. Same here. Japanese whiskey is so expensive in the United States. That's why I never bought it, because I keep saying, I'll just be like, let me pass. I'm gonna get to it later. And then I find these other bourbons or Scotch whiskeys or Irish whiskeys. So I just keep putting it to the back burner, and I guess it's gonna stay there. Japanese would probably make a good product. They do. I've tried. My friend bought some. He don't buy them anymore. He got tired of the high price too. I tried that Hibiki Harmony. I tried that Suntory Tokai. I tried the I sit there and think about it. I don't have time. I just told you got to get walking. But they were all fabulous. They were so great. But I wasn't paying no $80 for them. Look, these two products, I'm doing it blind. I don't know which is which, and I'm telling you, they don't taste very different one from another, if they taste different at all. Maybe that's the Evan Williams. But I'm telling you, maybe, and even if I get it right, I'm not going to count that as getting it right, because that is just guessing, like flipping a coin, flipping a quarter. Okay, it was the Evan Williams, because I thought maybe, what did I say in what you just watched? I said, maybe I'm picking up a little bit of that sour mash, that sourdough bagel thing. But it was so thin of a difference, I'm going to call it even. So I'm going to say basically, I couldn't tell them apart. I could take the credit because I got it right, but I'm not going to take the credit because it's mainly a wild guess. So the winner here is Evan Williams. And some people look down on Evan Williams as, oh, that cheap stuff. And some people even use ugly terms like that, rot gut. Oh, yeah, no, there is no rot gut straight bourbon whiskey in America. Sorry to tell you. Well, actually, I'm happy to tell you. Are there some really cheap whiskeys? Yeah, there are. And they're not very good, but they're blended whiskeys. They're not straight bourbon. And I don't know why people are buying these blended whiskeys that's so cheap and nasty, or relatively nasty. They're not actually nasty on their own. If you drink them in isolation with an open mind, they're not actually nasty, but they're not too good. And they'll be the same price. So it's like, well, why are you paying the same price and you could buy straight bourbon? I don't get it. But I got a guy, he died. This man, I had a friend, a fellow knight in the Knights of Columbus. Although he was a fourth degree, he was a third, a sir knight. I'm just a third degree little underling, but that's by choice. I could become a fourth degree. But he preferred Canadian blended whiskey by choice. He said, I like those Canadian blends. Now, I didn't go badger him and hammer him and say, why? You should be drinking straight bourbon. What's wrong with you? No, I said, okay. I went and got this drink for him, Sprite and the Crown Royal. But in my opinion, I'm talking about American. Now, I'm not talking about Canadian anyway. American blended. I'm not going to pay the same price for American blended if I could get a straight bourbon. I'm not doing it. Unless it was Seagram 7 Crown. That's the only one that can really hang with them. But the rest can't. Nah, no way. It ain't going to happen. So this is a tie. And I'm going to say Evan Williams wins because it's $6 cheaper. And I'd rather save the $6. Okay, so let's look at the comments, and then I'm going to walk for this rain. Hello, Ron, says Maxwell in the Russian Federation. Hello, Maxwell. I hope you're having a good Tuesday. Jean-Pierre says, hey, Mr. T, I'm listening to the show while at work. Oh, I wish I could listen to YouTube videos while I was at work, but I can't because the way my job is, I couldn't do it. It wouldn't be practical. And then I would lose track of what I was listening to. I wouldn't pay attention properly anyway. So that's a no-go. NC Theo says, cheers, Jay. I'm looking forward to your review of White Horse, one of my favorite Scotch brands. Well, we recorded the duo review. Then I came home, and a few days later, I recorded the solo review. And when we get to it, it's going to be a while because, I got to do American blended. You know how long that's going to take. You know how many, whatever you want to call them, rock guts or whatever you want to call them. I don't, call them what you want. I bought them, right? But I got all of those to go through against Iron Wheel. And then I've got the Canadian blended. That's going to take a good while, although I don't have as many as I did. I've drunk some down, but I still have a good amount. Then I got to do the Irish whiskey, and I got the Busker, which is from an independent company, I think. Kind of independent, semi-independent, like Puerto Rico. And then I'll get to the White Horse. Okay, so it's gonna be deep into this year. We're already a good deal into the year now. We're in April, but it's gonna be a while. So just be patient. But the reviews are done. The reviews are on the schedule. They're gonna post. If I die, and I pray I don't, I'm not ready to die. But let's just say theoretically somehow it's still going to post because I've got them all scheduled. It'll post. And you be commenting, wow, that White Horse is such and such. And then you won't get a response, but I got these things scheduled a month out. They're already a month out from now. Yes, because I got so many videos I've done. It's amazing. FD says, Ron, hello, FD. Hadn't heard from you in a while. Are you still supporting Anheuser-Busch after this disgusting new marketing campaign? Well, I never supported them before the campaign. I was never an Anheuser-Busch supporter. And if people think I was, they're wrong. I just simply commented on the products at hand. Okay? Because I was looking through their brochure back in 1996 and some of the things they supported. And I was like, I don't really feel comfortable paying for their product. I'm talking about 1996. I got the paperwork right there. Uh, and I said it's almost like you can't buy their product in good conscience. So there were other companies that did not openly support certain diabolical movements. So I bought Stroh's back in those days. I used to buy Stroh's products in 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000 because they were cheaper anyway. They tasted as good or better than Anheuser-Busch. But then, of course, all the other companies started to make their, they started to go and they started to be in league with the devil. Let's say be in league with the devil. They started to become in league with the devil. They sold their soul for rock and roll, So then basically, then at that point, you couldn't drink beer. You couldn't drink whiskey or any other liquor. You couldn't drink wine because almost all of them have taken the left-hand course. They're going to pay for that. Of course, you're going to answer. You have to answer for everything, But so yeah, I never was an Anheuser-Busch supporter from the get-go. I just talked about the products. Now, it might have seemed like I was supporting them by what I said in the videos, the commentary, but it wasn't support. It was just saying this is what's happening with the product. Okay, totally detached from whatever they were supporting. And I've said that about any brand I review. And I had some people that were thick-headed, didn't understand what I was trying to say. I said, I'm just talking about the brand. Now, there's some brands I won't buy, but I don't make a big announcement about it. I just don't like the name of the brand, and I just pass it over, and I don't comment on it. And no one ever asked me about them. If they did, I'd say I don't want to deal with those brands. But I didn't go on a big sermon about it. I just didn't drink it. And people ask me, you ever had that one? I say no. Now, usually if I say no and they let it go and they're on to something else. If they press me on it, I'm going to tell them. And if they get upset, I'm sorry, but I'm going to tell them, you pressed me on it. You created this scenario, not me. I tried to avoid it. It's like with beer, people say, what do you think? What do you think? I'm like, I'm trying to get out of the conversation because I'm going to tell them something that they're not going to like. And then I'll tell them about the beer and they'll get upset. That's my favorite beer. I'll say, okay. You asked me about it and you could see I was trying to avoid giving you the answer, but you still pressed me on it. And I told you and you got upset. And then I don't back down. I've seen Jack Daniels went off the deep. Yeah, they all do that. Martin's daddy says. Okay, so but anyway, we celebrate an Easter season. We don't want to get despondent. I'm not despondent. People will tell me, look at the world, look at the world. I said, you must have never read the Bible, apparently. If you had, you would understand the world that you're looking at. I read a chapter a day. I've read a chapter a day in the Bible since 1989. You can read a lot of Bible scriptures. You read a chapter a day every day without fail since 1989, and I've done it. I'm not bragging on it. I've done it. It's funny to see the older television commercials that Bud Light used to have way back before they went woke. Yeah, says Craft Beer-tastic. Yeah, but they I cannot stop a company from committing hara-kiri. It's like if you want to do this to yourself and you think this is going to help you, do it. I don't know who you people are in Anheuser-Busch InBev. And furthermore, I don't care. It's your business. Do what you want. But don't expect me to say anything in support of you because it's not going to happen. If you crash and burn, I'll just be watching, saying, look at you. As always, thanks for your honest answers. And I agree with what you said. Okay, you're welcome. And that's it. I'm off to the walk and then I'm going to eat because I'm so hungry. Oh, so very hungry. The winner today, Evan Williams. And that's all I got to say about it.